What's going on, Geeks? You're listening to episode 331 of the Geeks Under Grace podcast. My name is Cody Armour. I'm here with Shelley Nollan.
Hello.
And Lj.Lowery.
Yo.
We're finishing out the year geeking out about Spider-Man, the future of the DCU, and Amazon. There's a ton of Amazon news. I don't know what happened, if there was an event or anything. I didn't see anything about an event. It's just lots and lots of Amazon news.
They making moves.
Yeah. I mean, it is Christmas. They are about, gifts, shipping. I'm sure there's a connection there.
This is strangely getting close to my day job. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's get into the games we've been playing. I've been playing a ton of games.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Shelley talked about Vampire Survivors last week.
Yes, then that's all I'm going to talk about again today. That's all I've played.
It's really bad for me. I love that game so much.
Is it so good?
The games are like 30 minutes long. And so I will sit there at like 22 minutes and die and go, man, I was so close. I guess I need to do it
I'll
again.
Try again. Oh, it's a trap.
And like 2 hours will pass by.
That's a trap.
Yep. That's how it gets you.
It's so, yeah. There's a bunch of unlockables. It's a very simple game. Shelley kind of broke it down last week. But
yeah.
Very simple looking, almost NES graphics. Except that there are tons of stuff on screen happening at once.
The Bible is a weapon?
The Bible's a weapon. The King Bible.
There's also the Candelabrador. Candelabrador. I just thought that's so funny. That's such a funny name. I don't know why I didn't pay attention. I thought it was, Candelabra, but then it's like, no, it's Candelabrador. There's just such funny names in texts in this game. If you read, I don't know if you've unlocked the bestiary yet, you can basically go and see what enemies you fought. And you read through those, they're all just really funny. Or the descriptions on the stages, they're also really funny. I haven't
read them yet. I've unlocked it.
They're all just very funny. Every text file, even the names again are just knockoff Castlevania names. It's a funny game, but it's also very fun. Fun and funny.
Good. Thank you for saving me. Your vampires in another castle. Another coffin.
Yeah, that too. Thanks for saving me. Your vampires in another castle.
I am, for those that know the game, I am at the tower right now. And I usually just use Poe, or I use, what was her name with the wand?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Is Isabella, something like that?
So there's more to the game than just that field hearing all the time then. Wow.
Yeah.
What?
There's more stages you can unlock.
Oh, cool.
What I tend to do is I have been trying to make all the unions or all the evolved weapons. And I've been trying to get all the...
I was doing that for the bird. It took me forever.
Yeah, I've been trying to get the different characters to beat all the stages. So I have unlocked the tower. I've only done it once. Because what I do is I just go back and I actually, I think I've done the tower more than once, now that I think about it. I think I have the stage after the tower, because something crazy happened. Okay. And if you play the game, you probably know what I'm talking about. But,
I don't know yet.
Sounds like I need to get into this more,
I know.
Yeah, you gotta dive in.
My guy, I don't remember his name. It's the shirtless guy who throws knives. I don't know why. I've had the best luck with him by far in any game, in any round. And I think it's just because, he gets the extra projectile because, again, I don't know if it's been clear, every character has their, has a weapon they start with and then an ability, right? So that's sort of what differentiates everyone. And he gets an extra projectile. And once you have enough money to give yourself a perma boost with extra projectiles, then all of a sudden you have just already start with a bunch of extra projectiles. And then you get, there's an item that helps duplicate items. And then, I don't know why. He's just and getting the evolved
That's kind of the route that I've been doing, is trying to unlock all of the things that you can buy, all the abilities you can buy.
Totally. Yeah.
I got the revival finally, and that's been really nice.
Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, that's good. But yeah, it's and there's a lot to this game. I didn't even realize, I didn't realize how much there was to this game. When you start and you're in the field and you're going and you last not even 10 minutes, right? Or maybe just under 10 minutes, the skeletons start creeping in and you're like, I'm dead. How am I supposed to get past that? But then you just keep going and you're just like, oh, this is a fun, like, $2, $3, $5. I don't know how much it was. I got on sale. I didn't even get it for $5. Such a cheap game, but it's like fun. No, it's like deep. There's like, I think there's lore, probably. There's just like all this crap that happens.
Floor chicken?
And you keep unlocking stuff.
Wait, did you say floor chicken?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that what's called? It's something like that.
In Castlevania, it's wall chicken.
Wall chicken? I think it's floor chicken.
Well, yeah.
Or ground chicken, one of the two.
That's great.
I know. It's like, there's so much to this game, and it's like crazy. And I actually just bought the DLC. I caved. It's less than $2 right now. So I'm like, fine. I'll buy the DLC. So I'm going to try it. I haven't tried it out yet, but I saw that there was a DLC on sale, which ironically it's on sale until the 22nd, and the 22nd is when the Steam sale starts. So I'm like, I'll just get it. It's literally less than $2, and it's a game I really like. So got some new characters. New
this is on Game Pass too, by the way, but I know you're playing on your Steam Deck, right?
I am. It's wonderful on Steam Deck. Although sometimes when I have just so many projectiles on screen, it slows a little bit. Sometimes it almost lags, and I'm like, oh shoot! But it
even
it
on
gets
the cloud thing, it like gets rough when it gets projectiles.
Yeah, there's just it
gets
lot.
Loud. There's a lot of stuff going on, and then for a minute you think you're good.
And
then
all of a
you
sudden
start losing life because you literally can't see the enemies at that point.
No, you can't. And then you see your health bar going down. You're like, wait, why is that happening? No. Yeah, what a good game.
Do you know if there's a way to defeat the 30-minute mark? Something happens. There's a creature that appears. I'm trying not to give too much away. Can I beat that with the pentagram?
No. Sorry, I spoke too soon. You cannot. I don't know. It might do some damage, but I mean, I've had pentagram before, and it doesn't get rid of them. So, if that answers your question.
I was staying alive for a really long time, one time, but I didn't have the pentagram. I had like a time freeze thing.
Oh, that's like how you beat them.
Okay.
Like I haven't actually done it yet because they are very, very hard. But that's like the strategy, right? Is to use that.
Got it.
And that's like the way to. Yeah, that's just a strategy.
Yeah, my plan was just to do the time thing and then a pentagram and just try to wait out until the pentagram.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the pentagram does not work on those bigger bosses, and you'll see later too. There's some other bigger bosses that it doesn't work on.
Okay, interesting, cool, very fun game. Shelley, did you have anything else on it?
I think that was it. Yeah, it's just really addicting. At this point, I pretty consistently hit the half-hour mark and yeah, I'm thinking about the stage either after or two after the tower. So
cool,
good game.
The other thing, Shelley, I think you'll appreciate that I'm playing is Dragon Age Inquisition.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how far I'll get into it right now because I just downloaded another game.
Your class and
I am I don't remember what they called him, but he's a sword and shield fighter type thing.
Canary, are you a Canary?
And he's a Canary, yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah. Canary is so cool.
See, I think I played as a Canary, but I think I did, like, two-handed weapons, I think.
This is, the sword and shield.
Nice. Solid.
But he's a Canary. It was the only one with the Mohawk hairstyle. He's got a Mohawk and a beard.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Giant compared to the dwarf in the game.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not very far. I just woke up after the breach fight thing at the very beginning of the game.
Cool.
But I'll probably play some more of that soon. But a game, LJ, you mentioned you didn't even know if you wanted to talk about on the podcast.
Yeah.
High on Life came out, and I'm just gonna.
Oh, that's right.
Take a moment right there and say, if you like Rick and Morty, I think the game will be okay. If you find Rick and Morty annoying or immoral or any of those things, then you will hate this game.
Yeah.
Because it is just Rick and Morty.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So much so that I was thinking about it, and I think this gets a pass because it's a video game. It's a new thing for the creator. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Justin Roiland?
Yeah. So video game's something that he hasn't done yet, so I guess it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But like Solar Opposites, really similar to Rick and Morty in its humor, and so
that's right.
This game makes me wonder if he's kind of a one-trick pony.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it's good. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I've laughed many a times.
And it is. I agree. It is a good game. Like it's very well done. But yeah.
Yeah. But it's like supposed to be ridiculous and like your mom would come in and be like, "What are you playing?"
It's just more of the same kind of humor and same stuff. It kind of
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
One thing that I thought was really interesting that I wanted to bring a little Jesus piece into this. One of the enemies, he goes, "With my last breath, I renounce Jesus Christ as my savior," and I was like, "Well, that's really on the nose." Okay, but one thing that he's done twice now, I think is really interesting. So in Rick and Morty, there's an episode, and they present the gospel and they present it correctly.
Yeah,
they're making fun of it, obviously.
I remember you talking about it, yeah.
Rick and Morty, and it's a comedy. But, like, Hollywood never gets the gospel correct.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I kind of appreciate that it's a villain in this. It's one of your things that you're shooting.
Yeah.
That is renouncing Jesus Christ, because he's, the bad guy.
Yeah, so it makes you go, like, oh. What?
Yeah, I feel a lot better about that than if it was, like, a good guy that was doing it. And be like, oh, you're promoting,
But it's also weird because then you're like, wait, oops.
Yeah, I guess I did kind of like, that guy is no longer going to go to to heaven.
Yeah.
That man's eternity, literally. I didn't know he was going to say that right before he died. That's a whole nother theological conversation.
It is.
But I do think it's interesting that, like, he has such shocking humor that he does kind of tread carefully when joking about religion.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
It's almost like not like in a super... you would think it would be in a much more disrespectful way.
Yeah. Yeah, as much as he treads on everything else without any reverence for anything.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's a little more careful with that. But yeah, the game's stupid fun. I would say that it's like this hard R version of Ratchet and Clank. The humor is very similar in that manner.
Yeah. Because all the weapons talk.
Yeah, kind of on steroids.
Yeah.
The guns talk the entire time. You can watch movies. I was going to talk about this because I was going to play a bunch of it. I really didn't play that much of the game today. Because I got stuck watching 20 minutes of a real movie that really exists in real life.
The Paul Walker one?
What?
Yeah.
It's like one of his first movies. It's so terrible.
Tammy and the T-Rex.
Yes.
It was just on TV. And so I just watched it.
There are 4 full-length movies in there, apparently, that they got the rights to.
Yeah. And I'm bummed. So it went to commercial, which was great. But I think the guy that was watching it turned the TV off, and I was like, come on, dude.
Yeah, so they all do have there's animated shorts on there, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Overall, I don't think it's for everybody.
No, definitely not.
I think a lot of people are going to have issue with it. So far, I don't think it's past anything that I've, like, seen or watched. Like, it's got that absurd, shocking humor, but if you're okay with The Boys or Game of Thrones... The intro
to that game, the tutorial, is my absolute favorite. Like, it was
amazing.
So ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's rated M for mature. Just kind of keep that in mind.
Oh yeah.
And it's a hard M for mature. No nudity yet. I hope they kind of keep that. I forgot that I wanted to mention this, is that the world that you're in feels very much like Meow Wolf Denver, and I don't know if there's a connection there or not, or if there was inspiration taken
very
there.
Psychedelic.
Cool. The like weird alien cyberpunk.
Okay, the city.
Yeah, like there's literally like aliens at Meow Wolf Denver's exhibit that kind of look like the aliens in this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the whole point of Denver's Meow Wolf is that you're going to different planets.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I thought that was really interesting. Kind of cool. I would say most people aren't going to enjoy this game that listen to our podcast.
Oh, no. Yeah, definitely. But I think it's good that we mentioned it and we talked about it, like it's...
Yeah.
we're aware of it, and we tried it, and yeah, like it's it's ridiculous.
LJ, are you thinking you're going to continue playing or no?
I have just been kind of busy. Like I played it Monday, I think like Monday night and Tuesday. I played it. I'll probably play back into it. I definitely beat the first boss at least.
Yeah.
What was it? The one that
I went from normal to story mode real fast with that
one of them
boss.
See, I haven't had too much issues, but yeah. So I got the part where you get the knife. I got past that. And what's hilarious is I did it on accident. But you know how like they have the clone or whatever, that like hangs. I accidentally killed that too.
I did, and then I reset my checkpoint.
Like there's literally.
I felt bad.
There's so much you can do that's just like, oops, I didn't mean to do that. But then they comment.
Yeah,
on it, and
that's an interesting thing too. Is I've had 3 different times now, no, 4 different times where I could have been a terrible person and chose not to. And there's commentary on me not being a terrible person.
I kind of was. Like, there's literally this thing where you walk past a group of guys and they're like, "What are you doing?" They're like, they're trying to like hit you up, and I could have easily walked past them, but I was like, "No, you know what? Let me see what happens." Boom, 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 boom. And they're like, and then the gun.
If it's what I'm thinking of, I walked past them.
The gun had something to say about it. He's like,
yeah.
He's like, wait a minute. So you're just gonna go around killing people? I'm just like, yeah. Sorry. Like,
there's a guy that you can take the knife and just gut him, and it was like
they guilt you into like trying stuff. Like you try something and it actually happens, and they're like, see, like this is what happens. Like this is why other games don't let you do this.
Bro.
Yeah. I did try shooting random people in the city.
There's
like, what's wrong with you?
There are certain opportunities where, or like there are certain things where they don't give you an opportunity to try certain things.
But they'll tell you about it.
Yeah. So it's kind of up to you. Like, oh, do I want to mess with that or not? And then
keep your homicidal tendencies for the bad guys.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, it's madness.
It is.
Rick and Morty. It's more Rick and Morty, which is cool, but if they make another game, or if he makes another show that's Rick and Morty-esque...
And I gotta say, I am a little burnt on Rick and Morty myself. Like, there was, like, the first few seasons that I did enjoy, because I felt like the writing was... it's a very creatively written show, but there were episodes that just kind of almost went too far for me. So it's like...
Okay.
So it's
I really enjoy Rick and Morty. I think the humor is... It's so different from anyone else.
It's very well written. I mean, at least Rick and Morty.
But when you make 3 different projects that have the same humor, it's just kind of like, all right, we get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those are the games I've been playing. LJ, have you been playing anything else this week?
I got a few little things I kind of dipped my toes into. The first thing is Grand Mountain Adventure, which is like a snow-themed game I found on Switch. And basically, it's a little low energy like skiing snowboarding game where you basically just ride down a mountain and do challenges and stuff, and like you literally get to like take the ski lift and ride back up, and it's a really fun chill game. Probably a little pricier than I wished it was, but I'm kind of enjoying it. It's a really good time for the season, especially in the cold weather and Christmas time. The second game I actually barely checked out this morning for a short time, but it's called Insurmountable. And basically, it's the premise is that you're trying to get to the summit of this mountain, but it's almost very much like a tabletop game in a weird way, because there's tiles that you like move through, and that wastes energy. I know there's like a temperature thing, so it's like part survival. So it's like, ooh, my energy's getting low. Do I have a tent on me? Okay, cool. Like, let me rest. Do I need to? Am I getting too cold because of this weather effect or something? Like, should I drink this canister of tea? And it's very tabletop-ish, and like there's certain little icons that when you go to a tile, and it's like, hey, like there's this thing you can investigate. Do you want to just move on, or do you want to investigate it more? You might lose a little bit of energy, or you might lose a little bit of sanity or something, but like it gives you the opportunity to like decide that for yourself. So it's like a cool little mountain climbing like tabletop game, but in video game form. Nice. It's actually pretty fascinating. I do want to play more of it. But yeah, those are kind of the games I've been playing to get into just kind of, not necessarily Christmas spirit, but like the winter themed, like kind of been feeling that vibe. So
winter spirit.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah. So that's kind of it for me.
All right, well, we can get into the gaming news then.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Gaming is pretty short, pretty simple stuff. The first piece of news is that I'll go with probably the most interesting one. Tomb Raider is being published by Amazon. Amazon Games.
Have they made anything yet that's substantial?
Well, so Amazon Games has published certain they've published some MMO stuff. There was one failed online multiplayer game they helped publish. But they have New World, which is a big MMO still, and
that's
also
right. Mm-hmm.
Lost Ark is like a isometric style action RPG MMO.
Mm-hmm.
But this is one of the first official I guess single player almost AAA franchises they'll be covering or they'll be publishing. For those who aren't caught up, Crystal Dynamics made Tomb Raider, but they are no longer a part of Square Enix anymore. What's the name of the company? It's the company that's the parent company of THQ Nordic, but basically, yeah, Crystal Dynamics is not part of Square Enix anymore. So they sought out a publisher for the next Tomb Raider game. Think of this like how I guess the recent Hitman games started as Square Enix, but then those developers went and I think they had Warner Brothers publish one of them. So it's one of those things where it seems like Crystal Dynamics has full creative freedom, but they just need the financial backing to put it out. So
It's interesting.
We'll have to see what this new Tomb Raider game is going to be because this last trilogy was so good, and Tomb Raider has already been rebooted 2 or 3 times now. So who knows what this is going to be? There's a new logo and everything. So yeah, we'll have to see what comes out of this. The next one I do want to mention is that Spider-Man 2 finally has a release window. The
Yo!
video game. Yeah.
Yo!
Yep, and this happened because I think there was a leak. Somebody accidentally leaked it, or it showed up on the PlayStation Store in the UK or somewhere for a short time, but then it got removed. But Sony has officially confirmed on the PlayStation blog that the release window for Spider-Man 2 is 2023. So just after we get done playing... it's fall 2023, so just after we get done playing Jedi Survivor and all the other big games that are coming out in February and March, we're going to have one waiting for us right in the fall. So, yeah, that's
Sweet.
it.
I really need to play the first one.
You really do. That game is probably stupid. Well, I don't know about the PS5 version, but that game is, it's got to be on a sale somewhere at some point. But this one and Miles Morales are easily some of my favorite games in the last decade. I've 100%ed everything, and I don't do that with games often. I've literally done everything you can do in both of those games, and I still jump into them every now and then. So yeah, that's it for gaming news.
We'll get into movies then. Probably the biggest move. I don't know if it's the biggest movie of the year, but it's. He wants it to be the biggest movie of the year. Is Avatar: The Way of Water. LJ and I, we both watched it.
Yeah.
How was it?
It's good. It took me a minute to get back into Pandora. I think that we're a bit spoiled.
I want to know your thoughts first because I literally watched the first one the same day.
Yeah, and I didn't watch the first one. I wanted to. I never got time to do so. So first of all, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I didn't feel super long. There was one little story arc that took 15-20 minutes that I thought was a little dragged on needlessly, but the 3 hours felt totally okay. Plus I just wanted to be in that world. The world is so pretty.
Oh yeah.
But you easily forget that you're watching basically an animated movie.
Yeah, it's really weird because you're oh, these are still actual actors. So there's a weird uncanny valley thing that's happening.
Okay, but at least they're aliens, humanoid aliens, and they're not lions,
Yeah.
And it's an original story. I've heard the story is not amazing by any means, but it's still an original story with original characters, and it's not based off of a classic animated 2D film that is beloved by everyone, right? So it's It's fine.
I love the Lion King jab.
I will always make fun of that movie.
For anyone playing at home, that was a jab at Lion King.
Yeah. I don't. It's like, I really think that the special effects that we have now, we've gotten really kind of spoiled, and we're just used to seeing special effects be all over the place. The first one, it was the first time a movie had been so
so much of it
magical.
So yeah,
I guess.
totally.
And we see that all the time now. So this does it better. There was a specific scene where he's coming out of the water in the dark, and it looked so hyper realistic.
Oh,
it was crazy.
yeah.
There was another scene where they're fighting, and I guess the quick speeds felt a little CGI-esque. But for the most part, it doesn't feel like CGI. It all feels very real. But now we're just kind of used to that. We're like, yeah, that's how it should be. So I don't know if it's going to be. I'm really interested to see if it actually makes budget. Well, I think it deserves to. I think we've waited 12 years.
It's projected to cross 1 billion by New Year's.
Yeah, it's just
because
crazy.
you're gonna get the people that go see movies Christmas Day, like after everything is said and done, and then you're gonna have people that are gonna go probably to the movies like New Year's Day too.
Yeah,
stuff like that. I
want to see the third one. I do think that part of the reason this movie is doing well is because it's been like 12. Has it been 12 years? Has it been more than that?
I think it's been 12 officially.
Sheesh.
That's the number that's been getting thrown around. Because it came out in 2009 or 2010.
Okay. So, I mean, that is a big part of the reason I wanted to watch it.
I just got out of high school.
I wasn't excited about the movie, but I was like, I've waited this long. I have to go see this movie.
Yeah.
Story's not. Like Shelley said, it's not. It's okay. Story's not why you go to that movie.
Well, I actually liked, there's certain, maybe not the story itself, but I really liked the direction that they took some characters in this one. Mm-hmm. Like, just, I was like, okay, cool. Like, there were certain characters that I'm just like, oh, wow. Like, I guess, like, in the trailer, you see just about everybody that's going to be in it, but, I guess coming from the first one, I was like, I think I told y'all about this. Like, I was struggling to decide whether the first one held up or was outdated, because there were parts where it did look like, I'm like, ooh, this looks like a PS4 or PS5 game like that I just played or something.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, but it was only in certain parts, and then other parts would look amazing. So I'm just like, okay, does this actually hold up? I know it was revolutionary for the time. I thought that I think people gave, I think it deserves a little more credit than just being a Pocahontas knockoff, like the first one, because like essentially it is like when you get down
it's Pocahontas in space.
Well, yeah, when you get down to it,
it's Treasure Island or Treasure Planet.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, like I think of how many times like the story of Seven Samurai has been adapted into like TV episodes or other movies and things like that. So it's like, of course, so like that's just gonna happen with everything. But I was like, you know what, this is actually pretty darn creative. Like, I just like this, like watching that first one again, and so it did help me on like jump on board the second one really quickly too, because it's like, oh, like I just got done like watching these characters like the same day, so it was just like easy. It was an easy transition. Mm-hmm. It's weird because I'm trying to decide if there should have been like, it's so crazy, but I also think it fits that the second movie in years feels like it's advanced almost as long as we've been waiting. And I think also I was trying to remember like I think we all joked, and the internet jokes, like nobody was waiting for a sequel. I don't think at all, because James Cameron's just like, oh, I'm gonna make more. There's gonna be more, and everybody's like, sure, whatever. But now that I've seen the second one, I'm like, oh, like I didn't know this is something I actually was going to be interested in. Like, so now, like you said, like I am waiting for the third movie. It's not going to be another 12 years, because I think they've been working on.
I think they filmed it back to back. Yeah.
Yes, so I think that's exciting. That like maybe not in 2023, but maybe in 2024 we're going to get another one. And then Ubisoft also has that Avatar Frontiers of Pandora game coming out. So like,
oh wow,
I'm totally like down to immerse myself in this world, because like I made the comparison on Twitter. Avatar is definitely like feels like a cinematic event rather than like just a everyday movie. Like, it feels like
Yes,
you get
but I wanted to remain that. I don't want to be oversaturated.
Yes, exactly. Which Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and even Harry Potter have both fallen, into that trap too.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think of like Dune that just came out. Like Dune, we got a part 2 coming to that. So it's like, I'm like, oh yeah, like this is, like it's a cinematic event. And like, I almost don't even count an MCU, but like watching an Avengers movie is definitely a cinematic event, like, so it's like, it falls in that same camp, and so I'm like,
I will mention too, I think it's really cool to see the influence that Marvel's cinematic universe has had on movie making. You can even see that fingerprint in Avatar a little bit. Just, I don't want to give too much away with plot details and things.
Yeah.
There's definitely an influence there, because that's what modern movies is Marvel movies.
Yep.
It's interesting.
Yeah, so that's my thoughts on it.
Cool. I would say if you've seen the first one, go see it. If you haven't, you should go see the first one. The first one's great.
Maybe rewatch the first one, because I feel like you won't care as much if you didn't rewatch it.
Like we said, spoiled. You're like, okay, this is all right, but to look at how far we've come, really is pretty cool.
And that was a huge transition, where like especially the older one, like for that time, it was revolutionary. But watching that first one again, I'm like, oh dang, well, we make video games that look like this now. But 2 was, I feel like, blew my mind.
I need to watch the first one again. I don't remember it being. I must have the glasses. You think the N64 graphics are way better than they actually are. You go back and look at them and you're like, oh, this is pretty bad.
There's parts of it of the first one that made me go, oof, like that didn't age quite well, but then other parts were still very pretty.
Yeah, I'll have to see it. I think I have like a 4K or a 60 frames per second or something.
It's on Disney Plus.
Cool.
Yep.
I don't know what edition I have, but I have a Blu-ray of it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's that old. Blu-rays are still a thing, but
yeah, I have a shelf of them full of them.
That's all the movies that we've seen. So Shelley, you can get into your movie news then.
For sure. So we're gonna split this up into 2 sections, and we're gonna talk about Spider-Man first, because we already talked a little bit about Spider-Man 2. So the first thing I want to talk about is Donald Glover is actually gonna be in another Spider-Man movie. And I know what you're thinking when I say that. You're thinking,
awkward.
Oh, cool. So his character from MCU, when he shows up, they're expanding more on that. He'll be in the next one. No, that's not what I mean. He's gonna be in one of those Sony Spider villain movies, like Morbius.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be Hypno Hustler, which is a very obscure Spider-Man villain, because they're starting to get to that point. But you know what? I mean, that's fine to me, because
it sounds like a Luke Cage era.
Yeah. It's like I don't know. You get way more freedom with obscure characters, villains or heroes or other people. So like, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, but I think Sony's also like, well, we can't use Spider-Man, so what else do we do?
I know. It's just like, I love Donald Glover, so I'm sure it's going to be at least well acted, because he's awesome. But I don't know. I just think it's
being the luchador like villain thing that nobody knows about either. So it's just like, it's weird.
I just think like I don't know. It probably isn't Donald Glover's fault. For all I know, this could have been his idea entirely. But I just feel like they gotta stop having the same actors in these MCU Spider-Man movies and these Sony villain movies.
Yep.
Intentionally or not. I'm just like, can we maintain a separation
technically
here?
They're from another universe.
You literally just...
I guess, but it's like, I don't know. It's just confusing to me.
They literally had him as Aaron Davis. And
yeah.
I know.
He's an important character. I mean,
it doesn't mean that he won't
movie,
come back. But...
Like, they can lead up to something, and all I'm saying is they probably will have him show up in the future
Dude
again.
would be Prowler in the MCU if he was still
That's
in
what I
the
mean.
MCU. Oh.
So it's like, I don't know. He could be 2 different Spider-Man villains in different movie or different like in MCU, and so I don't know. That's just a little too much for my brain.
Because what's his name doing? It's not Sabretooth. It's Kraven.
Oh yeah.
He's Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. So
Sony's like, you did it before, do it again.
I don't know. Hollywood's running out of actors. They gotta find some new people. I mean, Donald Glover, again, I actually really like him. And, you know, Childish Gambino and all that, but I don't know. Get some new people.
Or stop making, like, side characters
Or
for things.
That, too. That as well.
That you never use.
Yep. I have more faith in Donald Glover than Jared Leto, for example, but again, it really is like, can you find some new people? Can you find some I don't know.
Nobody cares about these villain
characters.
movies.
Yeah, no one does, especially after Morbius. Like I would think that like that was a funny and fun thing about no one watching it and making all these memes, you know, it's Morbin time
And they
and stuff like that.
re-released it.
Yeah.
I would bet no one's gonna watch this movie because they think it's gonna be like Morbius and bad, and who knows, it's probably just gonna be mid. It's probably not even gonna be bad, but I'm sure it won't be amazing. And so no one again is just gonna watch it and they're just gonna lose money.
Amazing.
So that's my thoughts. But anyway, the more exciting I think Spider-Man news is we got the next trailer, or I guess I should say the first official trailer for Spider-Verse 2, Into the Spider-Verse 2.
That looks wild.
Oh my gosh. Miles is a little older, and he's talking with his mom, and I think someone in the comments was pointing out on YouTube that I liked was that, you know, in the first movie he needed wisdom and guidance from his dad, and this movie he looks like he needs wisdom and guidance from his mom. I'm just like,
she literally had more dialogue in that trailer than she had in the first movie.
Yeah, exactly. But what's so interesting about this is like, why are the other Spider-Men attacking him?
That's the nutty part to me. Like, it's
like, what's going on there? What's happening?
It just reminds me of like in the John Wick sequels, how like that dude is being hunted by everybody, and then like this is like happening to Miles, like literally throughout the multiverse. Like it's great.
Like what does he do to make all the other Spider-Men gang up on you? It has to be a misunderstanding, right? Because like no way they actually don't like him.
Where 2099 was like hunting him, kind of.
Yeah, that's true. I just feel like it has to be. Which honestly, like, I mean, the first movie was so good. Like the second movie is probably going to still be amazing. But like, I'm worried if that is a true plot point, of that's just a misunderstanding, and they're trying to, you know, stop something, because that's just such a weak plot point where it's like, oh, if you just talked about it.
You don't need to have all these Spider-Man in there just to like please everybody, or just to be like,
I'm sure he like broke a dimension or something.
Yeah.
They're all going to TVA it.
Yeah, or something. I don't know. That is honestly probably more likely than just a simple misunderstanding. It's probably like he's actually trying to do something that he think is best, and all the other guys are like, no, it's not best, and we need to stop you. And I don't know.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and I'm like, in my mind too, I'm like, just because you can put all these Spider-Men in here in like one shot or whatever, doesn't mean you necessarily should. So I'm hoping they don't get stupid ridiculous with like cameos and stuff. Like, hope this is just maybe a small scene or something, or maybe, you know, like,
I think
that's the part I'm worried about.
as long as it's a good movie.
I would think this probably going to be
the point of the movie.
Still like maybe not as central of a group as in the first one, but maybe a slightly a little bit of a central group. There's probably gonna be some main Spider-Man that he'll be like interacting with Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
I would imagine, like, obviously, like Ghost Spider's still there, and probably on the same side as him, right? Like they're
because
buddies.
That line,
so.
She's like, when did we become the bad guys?
Yeah, it's like, we're supposed to be good guys. He said, we are the good guys.
And then it's also funny how 2099 Spider-Man is literally just Oscar Isaac. Like,
oh my gosh,
yeah.
Yeah, it's just
that's dope.
It's a little.
Like they just put a tune filter on him and called it good.
I'm hoping it's still really good. Like, animation wise, it still looks stunning, so at least we won't be disappointed in that way. I just feel like when the first Spider-Verse came out, it was still a pretty novel concept. Slightly, for like all this multiverse stuff to be happening, because they did it before MCU, right?
Yep.
And now that we've already seen a multiverse Spider-Verse kind of thing in MCU and seeing kind of more multiverse stuff happening, I'm a little bit worried that they're going to be doing
newest
some of the
trend.
same stuff. Yeah, it is a trend, but it's like, it sucks because it's like, again, the first one was so good, but it like kind of started that trend a little bit, or at least featured that trend, and everyone else was like, hey, that's smart, let's do that. So I don't know, that's the one worry I have with this, is that it's probably going to be really strong as a sequel in comparison to the first one, but then just thinking about it in context to all these other movies we're seeing, it's probably going to be a little lackluster in that way, because it's going to feel unoriginal, even though it was originally their idea, or their at least presented first. I don't know if it was their first idea, but it's the first that us public people saw. So so I don't know, I'm obviously incredibly excited. If I had to like name a favorite movie, like if someone just asked me like, what's your favorite movie, I'd probably say Into the Spider-Verse, just because I don't know what else I'd say, and that's at least definitely one of my favorite movies for sure. So
it's so good.
So I am obviously incredibly excited for this too, but I guess I'm just hoping it's not going to be negatively affected by all the other things. It won't be negatively affected by itself, I don't think. It'll be from all the other crap we face with the MCU, especially. So, yeah. So, that was all the good news, in my opinion. We're going to move to some Justice League stuff, or some DC stuff, I guess I should specify. I don't know. I don't like this, okay? I like DC stuff, and I somewhat consider myself a Ruby fan, but I don't think I like the idea of a Ruby Justice League crossover movie that's happening.
I think it sounds awesome.
I think I don't like it, but I don't have good reasons. I don't have good reasons, so it's not really a valid point. It's
the most unnecessary thing I can think of.
I think maybe that's why. I'm just like, what? So, and I think honestly, just the screenshot that I saw, it's like I've already kind of grown a little bit tired of Ruby. Like, I haven't finished. There's already going to be, they're on their 9th season, which I'm like, okay, I think I finished watching their like 5th at the latest, maybe 6. And I'm like, okay, I'm really behind. But I just didn't like those seasons. And so it's hard to watch when I'm like, it wasn't very good. And now they have like, and granted, this is coming from because they had an arc in the comic. They had a comic, right? Crossover.
Yep,
so that's
there was like a whole crossover comic, yep.
So that's like where it's coming from. So I'm like, okay, fine, yes, that makes sense at that point. It's better than it coming out of nowhere. I don't know. I think I just hate the designs. Superman looks awful. Batman looks awful. I just hate how they look. I think that's it.
I think Superman looks great. Batman needs a mask.
I think they look ugly. I think they look awful. They don't look good in Ruby animation.
They look fan-made.
Yes. It looks like freaking Paw Patrol has entered Ruby. That's what it looks like. It's like when you see the Ruby characters, they look like they fit in because that's all you see, and that's how everyone else is fit. You see freaking Superman and Batman in here, and they look straight out of a cartoon, like a children's cartoon.
Like, here's Superman, but make him Ruby.
Now we need that.
It doesn't look like Ruby.
Paw Patrol and Ruby.
They aren't anime enough. They're too cartoony. They're not anime enough. That's the thing. Their eyes need to be bigger. Bigger.
The other way around would have been cool if it would have been Ruby in comic, like Justice League War style art.
That would have been great. That would have been great because these Ruby characters do look good in other styles. Like, I mean, they're anime, but if you were to put, I feel like if you were to transition to them, like, and they've been in 2D stuff before. In fact, there's that anime, like more classic anime that's been made for the first season. I think I don't know if it's all out at this point, but it was for the first season. I didn't watch most of it, but I saw some clips of it, and I'm like, dang, this looks really good. Like, the choreography isn't as amazing as it is in classic Ruby, but it's like the animation's looks really good, and it's like anime, like it's 2D. Okay. So I'm like, okay, so this still looks good on them, but it's like, I don't know, like,
that sounds awesome.
It looks like Paw Patrol. I can't get over it. I don't. So I mean, it's just, I don't know. I think it's just reminding me that I'm so behind on Ruby, but I don't really care to keep watching, and that I'm like, I don't care. I don't know. But what's cool is that the actor for Carl from Walking Dead, Chandler Riggs.
That's who you think of when you think of Clark Kent.
Yeah, he's voicing Superman. Yeah, exactly.
I'm making fun of this the entire time, but I am excited. I really do mean it.
I mean, I'm happy for him. All right, he seems
in a
really
make fun of it kind of way
excited about it, and I'm like, you know what? For his sake, I hope it goes well.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what else he's done besides Walking Dead, but if he can, like, get into voice acting, I always support that. I think that's awesome. But
I'm excited to this, similarly to being excited for Sharknado.
Okay, then you know what? That's valid, Cody. All right, you watch it.
Like, as we're talking about it, I'm like, I don't expect this to be good.
Yeah, you can't wait to watch a train wreck.
No,
yeah, I was just like, it makes no sense, so I want to see it. Like, it just seems like stupid fun.
I feel like, yeah, I'm curious to see if it's going to be like taking place right after the comics in such a way where if you haven't read the comics, you have no idea what's happening.
I hope not.
Or if it's just going to be like a crossover that is somewhat in the same nature as the comics, where there was a crossover. What I did notice,
is the thing you were talking about called Ice Queendom?
Yeah, it's Ice. I think it's just called Ice Queen or something. Yeah.
Is that
Ice
the new season or something? Yeah, I've been hearing about that too, or at least that subtitle.
Good.
I think it's all on. I thought it was all on YouTube. Maybe it's on Crunchyroll. Could be wrong.
Verve.
But what I noticed about the picture, the screenshot that he put in there, Ruby. It shows Ruby and it shows Weiss. Just in that screenshot, and they're in their original design. So at least that gives us a time frame of like, oh, this happens before season whatever they change. Sorry, Cody, if it's a spoiler. They get design change. They get
nope. I've seen the design change.
Okay, perfect. Then you're good. So it's before that. Yeah. So that's at least something we know because it's their original outfits and hair and all that stuff. So that's something to know, and that means I'm like, okay, cool. So I probably could just watch this if I really want to. Or I guess I could. I don't know. If you think it's good, if you enjoy it, maybe I will. But it means that you don't have to be up on seasons. You don't have to be caught up for Ruby to watch this.
Which is good. It's good. I still feel like I should. I really want to catch up on it. I
think I do.
Fell away.
I just need
it was Crunchyroll, and Crunchyroll's like a weird. I have a love-hate relationship with Crunchyroll.
Well, and then it was like on Verve and stuff too. Like I remember it was just like.
Yeah, I think I had Verve, and I had Crunchyroll through Verve.
I see.
Or Rooster Teeth or whatever. I don't remember.
I think
it's an app that I buy it, I pay for it, and then I don't use it ever.
Mm-hmm.
I think I also just have like all these mixed feelings about Rooster Teeth, aka negative feelings towards Rooster Teeth after all that crap that came out about them and how their Genlock was supposed to be really good and it was awful and all this stuff. So I think that's part of the reason I'm also hesitant to keep watching Ruby because I'm like, well, I don't even really like Rooster Teeth as creators. Not like I loved them before, but at least had respect for them. And now it's like, oh, well, if they ruined Genlock, probably Ruby is
I would have loved more Genlock. I want to throw that out there.
You watched all of it and you really liked it?
Yeah.
Okay, you're the only person I know who did.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, I thought it was great.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad you liked it.
It was very anime-esque. I don't know, it was cool. I think I was excited for, at the time, a small like YouTube thing to like have all these big voice actors, and I was like, wow, they made it.
Gotcha.
I was really excited for them.
Which, for sure, they did that.
I don't know. I haven't paid attention to Rooster Teeth since Genlock came out, really.
Gotcha.
So I don't know the stuff that's come out.
There's a lot of controversies, is all I'll say.
Yeah.
A lot of bad things.
I don't know anything.
Yeah.
Let me voice that out in the podcast for those.
Yeah, and that's
How
fine.
could you support them? I don't know.
No, and that's fine. And yeah, so that's all for that. Very mixed feelings for me, at least for that one. But keeping on that DC train, Henry Cavill, poor dude. I mean, if you're listening, you probably already heard.
Yeah.
He stopped. He went to Witcher, right? He went to do the Witcher show and was like, I'm not going to do Superman right now. I'm going to do Witcher. Then now he's like, okay, I'm done doing Witcher because I'm going to go back to do Superman. And even though...
Literally because Black Adam, had him in the movie.
Exactly. And so it's like, then...
Which, spoiler, but everyone knows.
We even talked about this last week, how James Gunn was like, oh my gosh, yeah, we're doing Superman. Totally we're doing Superman. They're not doing Superman.
Priority number one.
So I don't know why he was lying, or maybe they made a really quick decision all of a sudden. I don't know what happened.
He's not. He's going to make a young Superman movie.
They're making a young Superman movie. They're not having Henry Cavill's not young.
Which is apparently not going to be an origin story.
Which is, that was weird.
I don't know what's happening with DC. If I'm being completely honest, I do not understand what's happening with DC.
I'm totally okay with them blowing up everything if they blow up everything.
They need to use Flashpoint and just nuke the whole thing.
I kind of think it's
Yeah.
a plan because the Flash movie is still supposed to be coming out.
And I think they might have done reshoots.
Yeah, I think the plan is just like have that kind of erase everything, and that way they don't lose those 2 movies. I'm good with that, but I will be frustrated. As much as I love Peacemaker, if you got rid of Henry Cavill, but decided to keep your baby Peacemaker and John Cena, that feels real dirty to me.
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna blow it up, blow it all up, and then bring people back for certain things. I love, like, they said that there might be a place for Henry Cavill in the movies. It sounds like Jason Momoa is gonna be Lobo, which would be really cool.
Yeah.
Like, I love that idea of repurposing some of these actors and putting them in different roles, and it just being kind of.
And then they said Ben Affleck may come back to actually direct a DC movie. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of crazy, actually.
I hear that, and I think, hey, we're trying to soften the blow. Don't be mad at us, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm good with it if it's 100%. I think that it would be a really dirty move to be like, oh, sorry, Henry Cavill, you can't be Superman, which was all on verbal contracts, it sounds like. So he never had anything written, and that's why they can do this, which is kind of on him.
Oof.
I'm sure he'll trust nobody ever.
Yeah, I don't understand what's happening with DC.
Nobody does.
Blow it all up, start again. I'm good with it.
Nuke it.
Yeah. They've tried to, like, soft reboot
So many
over
times.
and over.
It's true. And I mean, okay, I guess I should specify. I don't understand what's going on with DC except for the Batman. Whatever they're doing with the Batman, just do that.
Yeah.
But I don't think they are.
Well, it sounds like that's not part of the universe, but
that's what I mean. They want to make a whole universe again. I'm like, why can't you just do what you did there?
It sounds like they're going to keep the things that
single
aren't attached and then just redo the universe.
Yeah.
No,
and the video game idea sounds really cool. They have video games inside the universe. I think they need to finish those out. Like Matt Reeves, I think it's supposed to be a trilogy. So you finish out that trilogy and move on.
I want a Mr. Freeze movie, like with
the big thing
Batman
too is the next movie that comes out, whether it's a Superman movie or what, is gonna fail, and Warner Bros. Is just gonna have to let them fail for a while.
Yeah.
And like move forward through it and not try to change things every time.
I mean, shoot, we
Your
still
numbers don't
have
match up.
Aquaman and Flash to get through before we even see anything new.
Which I think, like I said, is just recovering money. Like, it's just release them so you get... At this point, I think you should release Batgirl.
Yes.
Like, if you're going to nuke it all anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
might as well
I agree.
Just release the movie that you canceled.
Let it all be kind of pointless, but at least release it and let people get paid.
Start a new hashtag. It worked with the Snyder Cut. Release Batgirl.
Before you blow everything up, why not?
Release the Batgirl.
I don't see...
Start
why you wouldn't. That's kind of where I stand on it. I'll be really upset if Peacemaker and Suicide Squad 2 is the cornerstone of the DCU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
Sounds like Black Adam's out too, so that'll be interesting.
Dwayne Rock Johnson being all... Yeah, I don't know. I just think they're burning a lot of bridges.
Yep.
They don't need to burn.
There's some drama there.
And they could use all the help they can get, so... Anyway, that's movie news.
Cool.
Move on.
We'll get into TV then. The reason that I downloaded Dragon Age Inquisition is I watched Dragon Age Absolution.
How was it? Was it okay?
It was good.
It was good?
It was
okay.
It was alright. It's only 6 episodes. There's not a lot going on. It's a very contained story, which I think was really nice.
Good. Which they need to do, or else they're going to get in trouble in the games, I would think. Like in the future game.
They keep bringing up the Inquisition, and I felt like I probably was getting things spoiled to me. They were talking about like what was happening during the Inquisition, and I was like, stop doing that. I don't want to know anything. But like, there's a line in it. It's like this one person didn't join the Inquisition. It's like people like us don't do that. Don't go and save the world. And that kind of allows this like tight knit. It's definitely a party, like a Dragon Age party, that are out to do a job.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I really, really likened it to Vox Machina. I think because it was a party-based thing.
Similar animation styles too. It looks like. I mean,
yeah,
they
look similar in animation. They're similar in just how the parties are set up too a little bit. So I don't know. I think that it's in that sense a way more serious Vox Machina. Vox Machina is like full comedy,
Totally.
full tilts, the high on life version of
That
To
is
bring
a
it back.
great way to describe
Absolution.
it. Actually.
Back.
yeah.
Vox Machina.
And so it's almost like I'm glad that came out before this, because I feel like if Vox Machina would have come out after Dragon Age Absolution, it would have seemed like a parody almost. It's got kind of a reverse parody to it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I like it. I think it's fun. It's 6 episodes, so it's not a huge
Commitment. Yeah.
commitment.
Huh.
You can watch it in a day, Shelley.
Ooh.
I think we watched
Good
it in
to
2.
know.
We're about to have some break time, I'm sure, for holidays and stuff. Like, that'll be a good
Yeah.
watch.
6 20-minute episodes too, so they're not.
Oh,
Nice.
wow,
Okay,
20
so
minutes?
it's very
Ooh,
short.
okay.
Yeah, 20-30,
Dang.
It makes me like we're concerned. Like, is it really just like a long advertisement for Dreadwolf? We'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
I didn't think so.
Okay,
Well,
But I don't know what's going on, so
that's fair.
what's weird to
I'm
me,
curious
too,
to
is
see.
that they didn't do anything Dreadwolf related during the Game Awards at all, which I thought for sure they would.
I was so mad, and like they announced that before, so I didn't get my hopes up during the Game Awards or anything.
Yeah.
Like I was sad.
But it's like they did all this Dragon Age Day stuff, and it seemed like they were building up towards that, especially when this came out the day after. So
Yeah,
it's
it's like come on, but
Yep.
whatever.
the Kanari in this is 100% the best character. I can't remember her name, but that was part of the reason I chose Kanari.
Heck yeah.
like, nice.
Comedy relief, so. Yeah, we can move on from that. I'll let you talk about Santa Clauses some more, LJ.
Yeah, so it actually ended now. So if anyone's feeling festive, all 6 episodes are out, and I enjoyed it for the most part. The only thing is, I don't know if this is just a Disney problem instead of an MCU problem at this point, but I feel like it was rushed. Kind of like, you know how like when you watch an MCU show and they start to they build up kind of a good plot, and then it feels kind of like they just kind of wrap things up the last episode. Like
Wrap
real
it
quick.
up.
That was a good one.
Sorry, one of you guys were gonna do it, so I had to.
That's a
beat you
good
to
one. But yeah, they put a bow on and everything like really really quick. Just things happen that I was like, oh, all right, okay, cool, everything's happy and good now. But I liked it. It was a neat concept. And that's kind of all I gotta say. If you're feeling festive, it is worth a watch, I think.
Heck yeah.
And the other thing I've only watched an episode of is Sonic Prime, which
Ooh.
feels like it reminds me of an old Saturday morning like 3D show. Like it's not like animation feels kind of old school in a weird way. It's a 3D show, and it's basically Samurai Jack but like Sonic. Like Sonic gets thrown into this like futuristic world that's like dominated by Eggman. And there's like flashbacks and stuff that kind of explain how he got there and the things that happened that all led up to it, kind of a thing. But I've only watched 1 episode. I'll have to watch more of it. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, he's supposed to go to different worlds, right? That's the whole.
I have no idea.
I think he goes to different times, different dimensions.
Oh, okay. But yeah, this one was very much a like Eggman has one kind of world, like futuristic
That's
cyberpunky looking. I know I said a trigger word, cyberpunk.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of cool so far. Like, well, I'll have to see more of it. I know my nephew watched it like in a day. Apparently, like the day after I watched him last week, and I was like, "Hey, new Sonic show," and then I think my sister said he had it finished in like a day or two. Like I was like, "Dang!" So I'll have to see what it's all about. More.
Nice.
Yep. So that's
the last thing that I've watched 1 episode of as well, and that is Titans season 4, which is still an over budgeted web series, and I love it. It's great. It literally feels like something you'd watch on YouTube back in the machinima days if they had money.
Dang.
Yeah, but I kind of like that. Or Bat in the Sun beatdowns.
Mm-hmm.
There's literally in the episode, Nightwing just looks over and he's just like, ninjas. I hate ninjas. And it's so silly and ridiculous.
That's funny.
It's probably the most comic book like movie or show out there that's live action. I've heard Doom Patrol is even more comic booky, but it just has that weird goofiness to it that a comic book does.
Gotcha. Yep.
Yeah. Definitely enjoy it. We'll get into the TV news then. That's all the shows we've been watching.
Yep.
We'll move right back into Henry Cavill news. There was some rumors that he would be trying to do a Warhammer show for Amazon, and then literally I think it was the next day, he announced that he was doing a Warhammer cinematic universe for Amazon that he will be leading.
Oh yeah.
Which I'm
so tired.
If you're gonna do it,
I'm so
he's
tired.
the expert.
This is like a waste of his potential, like a big waste. I know he's, what did you say earlier, do what you love thing, but like,
yeah, do what you love. I mean, good on him for, literally doing what he like. It's, if I could do a show on my favorite thing ever and like act in it, produce it, like I can be thrown money. Like I get like why you would want to do that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I look at it this way, like with like The Witcher, if somebody would have announced the Witcher show like before like 3 ever came out and nobody knew about like The Witcher, because the game was the series was kind of obscure until the game like kind of popularized it, but like the show even more so. So it's like, oh crap, like Henry Cavill's gonna play Geralt. Like, oh my gosh, that's a trip. That's weird, but it's cool. But Warhammer is even more niche, like way more niche than like So it's just like, I'm like, okay, like, do you plan to make this a mainstream thing or like what? Like, I think the most popular Warhammer thing is probably the Space Marine game series or whatever. But like, it's such a weird, like, obscure, like, it's a tabletop game. Like, it's the whole tabletop system that's had a bunch of these weird B tier, even C tier, like, video games come out. So it's just like, okay, like, like what? I don't know what they're gonna expect out of this.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing is a lot of our news reports were saying him not being on The Witcher and then him not being in Superman, this was career ending for him, and I don't think that was the case. Like Henry Cavill could definitely bounce back from that and be in anything. They were talking about putting him in James Bond. In a few reports.
I hope he does other stuff. That's the thing. So, is like if he just falls into obscurity because of Warhammer, then that would suck.
Yeah, diving into this seems sad. Like if Warhammer does badly, that could be career ending.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's never directed anything that I know of. He's never produced necessarily.
And he's been in other good movies, but just nothing as maybe impactful or groundbreaking as like Superman or like Geralt, like in The Witcher.
But he is probably the most qualified person I can think of to make a like film or show about Warhammer.
Oh, well, of course. Like, yeah, the dude knows it all. Like,
he's a huge fan of it.
Major fan.
So I don't know. I will support it specifically because I want to support him at this point.
Yeah.
But I know nothing about Warhammer, and I'm not excited about Warhammer in any way.
It's so weird. Like, there's like a whole fascism, like overarching like theme to like 40K too, and it's just like, yeah, like it's wild.
Like, if World of Warcraft's movie couldn't do well, I can't imagine Warhammer is going to do well.
That's actually a really good point.
That's a big name, and it was meh. So we'll see. That's me going to Amazon, as well as Vox Machina. We talked about a trailer that came out last week. Another trailer has come out since then. Nice. It's more of the same. Vox Machina season 2 looks like more Vox Machina, which is silly, ridiculous D&D fun. For those who don't know, it's Critical Role's D&D campaign animated, and it's ridiculous. But Grog's been given a beard, and I love it. He looks like Kratos.
Cool. Cool.
I'm stoked. And then LJ, I think that's probably the biggest news to you is that also coming to Amazon in January of next year. So just a month away.
That's
Invincible
so
2.
soon.
We
Invincible.
haven't got a single trailer.
Oh, I'm like, they say sometime in January. I'm just like, oh,
I
that
didn't
is
realize
so
it was that
quick.
soon. I read 2023.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. January?
Oh,
That's
my
next
yes.
month.
Yeah.
I will
My
literally
gosh.
drop everything I'm watching just for that show. Like,
It's a good show.
For those who don't know, I definitely recommend that show.
it's so good.
Not
it's
for
bloody,
for
but
children.
it's good.
Yeah, it's a mature show, but it's not. My biggest thing with mature shows is like nudity and stuff, and this is just kind of gory and
Mm-hmm.
it gets really real, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, and
It's
it's not even in like a boys sense either. Like the boys is
Yeah, it's
like,
not shocking like The Boys.
yeah, it's more like, oh, like this is actually kind of gritty and like almost real life ish in some ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hits you hard.
Mm-hmm.
Often.
Dang, I thought that was a joke for a minute.
No. It could be.
Oof.
And then the last thing we didn't have a good segue for. Everything else kind of like flowed so smoothly this episode. Loved it. But Ash has finally become the very best, like no one ever was. And so the next season of Pokemon will have different antagonists, which they must have had a spin-off or something. I remember there being a show that didn't have to do with Ash.
Did you say antagonist?
It's two antagonists. I don't remember their names. Or
Antagonists or villains?
Antagonists.
Protagonists, right?
And yeah, that's right. Right.
I was like,
I
wait
got
a
you.
second. Have I been misunderstanding this whole show?
I have gotten through this podcast with lots
So
of dick
is
crap.
Ash
Wasn't
really
going
the
to say
bad guy
anything.
and Team Rocket is the good guy?
Protagonists. That one of them has a hair clip that's Ash's, and the other one's wearing a hat like Ash. I guess some people think that maybe it's his daughter. I don't think so. I think it's just.
I think it's
Average.
just an homage kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah. I think it's definitely his hat logo. But I think it's just
But where's green?
Oh, hey, remember? It's
We have
still
red
Pokemon.
and blue. Where's green? Maybe
Ooh,
green's
that's true.
the rival who they've become friends with.
That
later.
would be cool. I didn't think about the red and blue. That's cool.
Oh.
My hope is, I've heard that Pokemon has gotten pretty good lately. It's just gotten really good for like fight scenes. It's still a kids show, but the animation quality has gone up for the last few seasons as they were kind of.
They've
bringing
done
this
a lot of
together.
cool, even outside of the show, like their little spin-off stuff has been like really high quality animation. So I
Yeah,
assume the show would also be.
I would hope that they continue this as like a kids show, and then start like because now that Ash's thing is over and we don't have to like think about Pokemon as being Ash and Pikachu, start to do some more like Pokemon origin type stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
'cause I guess-
loved when Pokemon was kind of this. Give it a little bit of edginess, not too much. It doesn't need to be mature.
Well, because I guess there's a lot of shows in hindsight that have kind of like grown that like we've grown up with, like
Yeah,
like this
and
one.
Pokemon did not grow
like,
up.
Yeah, it kind of just stayed there, like almost kind of like Power Rangers or something. Like it just
Yeah.
kind of stayed.
Remained a kid's show.
Yeah.
I don't need it to get super gritty. I don't need like bloody
Mm-hmm.
Charizards and stuff, but something that's a little bit more like not less book 1 Avatar, more book 3 Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
I think could be really cool.
That,
Get really
and that
in
was
depth
the
with
example I
characters
was going to use as far as like shows that kind of people grew up with, like.
Yeah. Hopefully that gives them the freedom to do that. Who knows if it will or not. It might just be more kid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also really curious of how Pokemon will do. Two new protagonists. Like, is anyone going to care anymore? I guess kids probably didn't care that it was Ash in the first place. But
we did.
yeah, I don't know. End of an era. I don't think he caught all... How many Pokemon?
He didn't catch them all, but he never said he was going to catch them all. Well,
It's true.
He most
a garbage trainer.
he said he would be the best, like no one ever was, and he did do that. He beat all the other
Yep.
champions. So
Yep.
He did. He is the champion. He's not garbage anymore, LJ. He's won.
he won. He won it. He somehow
He beat...
Somehow.
Yeah.
Uh,
I just want a list. Okay. When was this updated? 900. I definitely thought there were a few thousand. It's not that bad. There are 910 Pokemon.
See, I thought with the newest game, I thought there was like 1028 or something. I could be wrong.
I'm trying to see when this was updated. Is Paldea the new place?
I don't remember.
Sprigadito? Yeah. Pretty sure. 910.
Oh, okay.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to me that Ash hasn't changed at all yet. Like, it's weird that they didn't grow up. He didn't grow up.
Yeah, that is weird.
I would have loved if we would have gotten, like, Ash starts off when he's like 10 years old. So he'd be 35 now.
That'd be so cool, but
See, yeah.
for some reason,
Yeah.
a lot of, like, I don't know, they probably were scared that it's like, oh, if I make our character too old, the kids won't think it's a kid show anymore, which is like, well,
Yeah.
it would have been cool. That would have been really hype, I think, if he actually got older.
Nintendo would definitely not allow that. But if you would have just, like, gotten more intense and
would've
made
been
the
cool.
show for 35-year-olds, we're all watching, like, 35-year-old
It would have been
Pokemon.
very cool, but
I do hope we get to see Ash some more. I hope that, these kids, they end up going to the Pokemon League. He's got to defend his
This
title.
also brings up a good question. Like, what's the lifespan of a Pokemon?
not forever.
Like,
I don't know.
What if like Ash isn't like dog or Pikachu like is like alive for like dog years or whatever, only live to be like
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, man. Could you imagine if that's how the show ended?
oh.
Death of Pikachu?
Pikachu go off by a tree somewhere and just like
No!
Ash has to retire because he's
Like-
only good Pokemon is...
like Barley and me, but
gone.
like Pikachu.
Stop. No.
He has to retire at the Rye Shape of 5. Anyways, we're getting on a tangent. We could end the show here. We did not mention at the top of the podcast, we will not be here the next few weeks. We're going to be going on break. We got Christmas and New Year's and all of that. So the first podcast back will mean whatever 3 weeks is. I don't have that on me right now.
Let me look it up. Well, if I
People are like, what are we listening to right now?
I can cut out the dead air. So it would be like the 9th.
Yeah, 9th will be our recording.
Yeah.
And we'll post it on the 11th of January.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yes. We will.
Really excited, though. There are things that I plan to be doing during those
Oh,
holiday things. Poor
one
Geeks
thing.
Under Grace.
Not that we needed more news, but speaking of also Amazon was working on a God of War TV show.
Oh, dang. I meant to put that in there.
Got
Yeah.
too much in TV to talk about, but yeah, that's
That's
definitely
Amazon
fine.
was a lot.
One more thing.
Yeah.
That's an old school reference right there.
I was just talking about Jackie Chan Adventures like 2 days ago. How weird. Someone asked my name and I was like, they call me El Toro. Nobody calls me El Toro.
Oh my gosh.
And with that Jackie Chan Adventure reference, we end the podcast. LJ, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at LJ the Paladin.
Shelley?
You can find me on Twitter at TheShellShock24.
And you can find me on Instagram at Cody Armour and on Twitch on Wednesdays, probably. Definitely after January. I'll be more consistent with it. At 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Yeah. We're continuing to play Sonic Frontiers, and we're actually moving forward in that game.
Yay!
There are other levels.
Mm-hmm.
It's not all one thing. It felt really nice to move on. So yeah, come join me. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Keep gaming. Keep praying. And God bless.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Geeks Under Grace podcast. We love hearing from you, so feel free to ask us questions or just comment on the show by using the hashtag GUGcast on Twitter or by joining the GUGcast questions channel in the Geeks Under Grace Discord. If you like this episode, consider leaving a review or rating of our show on your favorite podcast app. If you want even more Geeks Under Grace, you can always go to geeksundergrace.com. We love you all so much, so thank you for listening.
It's on!